Greetings, fellow YouTube users. Kyoko Moet back here again, second video since my 2-year hiatus. As you can see, the video title is Tattooed Freaks Are People Too. And let me go ahead and tell you a little story that happened today. I was in the supermarket earlier today, and I was in an aisle, and there was a little girl in the aisle with her mother. She had to be about maybe 10 or 11 years old. And I have a full sleeve, first of all, as you can see. It's full arm of tattoos here. I have 48 tattoos total, and plenty of piercings, and I have pink hair. And the little girl just was like, she just had this look of horror on her face, and she was like, "Oh my God, Mom." She's like smacking her mom, like, "Oh my God, Mom. Do you see that girl's tattoos? Do you see that lady's hair? It's pink. Oh my God." And she went on like that for about like 5 or 6 minutes. Like, it got to the point to where everybody in the aisle was like staring at her and her mother. Everybody was staring at me. And I love kids, and kids' reactions are their reactions. This absolutely is not a hate video against kids. It's just, this is the story that spawned this video. Her mother totally ignored her. Like, her mother didn't turn around, look at me, or, look at her or anything. Like, her mother completely ignored her. Like, she was just like, "Oh my God, there's a monster on her arm, Mom. Look at that. There's a duck and it's got blood on it. Oh my God, look at her hair." And she just had this look of horror. And her mother completely didn't acknowledge her. And when I was coming up, I'm 23 years old. When I was coming up, and she was just pointing, like pointing in my face. And I just, turned around and I gave her a little smile, and I gave her one of these, like that, and she just kept going. And it got to the point where I was like so uncomfortable because her mother was completely ignoring her, didn't acknowledge her at all. I just left the aisle. And like I said, when I was coming up, you don't point at people. If you pointed at someone or you said something rude, my mother would quickly yank me up and like whisper something in my ear, like, "You don't do that. You don't point at people. You don't stare at people. That's rude." Her mother completely ignored her. And I got home and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, where the fuck is the parenting here? But this video is about people, just adults in general. I have people all the time staring at me, or staring at my just because I have tattoos and body modifications. They're staring at me, and they're tapping their friends like, "Oh my God, look, and they're pointing. And I work in retail, and like during the Christmas season, people were just like snapping photos of me without even asking me, like I was like some fucking circus sideshow or something. Like, for example, this girl, I was helping somebody, and this girl just like had her phone out like this, and next thing you know, her phone's like, "Say cheese," and then I look over at her, and then her phone, she just goes like this. Like, she starts veering the phone off, like she's fucking taking pictures of the ceiling or something. And it's really, really rude. And people just make really loud comments. I've had people say things like, "Oh my God." I had this lady one time, I was in the store, and I guess she saw my hair, I have pink locks or whatever, and she was just like, "Fucking clown, and I'm just here to say, like, do you think that these tattoos and, my piercings or whatever, do you think they make me deaf? Do you think they make me insensitive, or do you think they make me not have emotions or feelings? Like, I'm still a person, like, it's rude. Like, when you see a bleach blonde with like that much fucking black new growth, do you like fucking pat your friend immediately and like point in their face like, "Oh my God, look at that girl's roots"? Do you do that? No. It's really, really insensitive. And it's really, really rude. Like, just because I walked down the hair dye aisle and I chose to pick up the pink hair dye instead of, sunset blonde or chestnut brown or something, I'm still a fucking human. I go about my daily life just like you do. I shop just like you do. And why do you feel it necessary to tap the person you're with and whisper or make loud comments as if my tattoos and my piercings make me deaf? Like, I can't hear your rude insults or your rude comments about my appearance. Like, it's something, it's a real big gear grinder for me. Like, it's this subject is just as touchy as like politics or religion for me. Like, it's insane. And I've had plenty, like, kids, their reactions are natural. Like, kids are kids. I have nothing against kids. Like I said in the beginning, that story about that little girl in the store today, that just spawned this video. I have nothing personal against kids. But generally, you know, parents grab their kids and say, it's rude to point, you don't do that. Or, you know, little kids will be like, oh, mom, like, how do people get their hair like that? Like, that's fine. It's not even the kids. It's just when adults do it. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I'm a human. Just because I chose to have tattoos or something does not make me deaf. Doesn't make me emotionless. It doesn't mean that I can't hear you being a smartass or being rude. Like, I don't see, you know, an 80-year-old woman with her grandma blue hair and go, oh my God, you know, it's just rude. And I just, I hate it, you know. And being a part of the tattooed community, or being a part of the alternative community, we are humans too, and we have feelings, and we have emotions, and we have fucking ears, and we can hear. Like, so keep your rude comments to yourself. And if you're gonna make them, whisper. Like, when you see somebody with really ugly shoes, do you out loud go, "Oh my God, look at those shoes"? Ha 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 ha. Do you do that? No, you don't. So why do you feel that you can stand behind me at in the line of Walmart or wherever, and like fucking critique me like I'm some circus sideshow, or like I'm a piece of merchandise that you're debating on purchasing? You know, that's, you know, I don't see people, you know, when you see a person and their stomach is hanging down, you know, over their genitals into their pants, like their stomach's hanging to their knees, do you like smack your friend and like point in their face while they're making eye contact with you and like whisper things? And, you know, I've even had people stare at me to the point to where they run into things, stare at my tattoos, they run into things, or stare at my hair, they run into things. And just, you know, people taking photos of me without even asking, and just, it's so rude. So I wanted to make a video about it and let you know that the tattooed community are people too. People with unnatural hair color are people too. Even that bleach blonde with 2 inches of fucking black roots, she's a person too. And it's insane. It's insane. And so you know who you are. You know who you are. You know if you're that person who's tapped your friend and pointed at someone or made comments about their tattoos or their body modifications. And I want you to remember my voice in the back of your head the next time you're out and you see somebody with a body modification and you go to say something rude out loud, or you just go staring at them like this. The next time you're like all in their mouth, all in their face, I just want you to remember my voice in the back of your head saying, fuck you. I'm a human, I'm a person, I have feelings, I have emotions. So, you know, the next time you go to make an outburst or a comment or just gawk at someone because they look differently, just remember my voice. Just remember it back there. Peace.